Then friends, let's have the reading of newspaper of 8th June 2024. The first news is about the President invites Modi to form new government, swearing in tomorrow. NDA parliamentary party elects Modi as its leader. Allies hand over letter of support to President, invoking the spirit of a coalition government. Modi says he will strive to ensure consensus in all decisions in his third successive term as the PM. And he take the oath of constitutions by touching the constitution of India. Second is about the RBI keep repo rate unchanged, raise GDP forecast to 7.2 for upcoming year. Move on to the next news. 2 cattle transporters lynch in Chhattisgarh. Next news is 4 Maharashtra medical student drowned in Russia's Volkhov River. The body has been recovered of 4 of 3 and the remaining one is in hospital. That is a girl, and the Russian authority have worked to recover their bodies and to admit them into the hospital. This article is about the center is notional, the state the real identities. In this editorial, the author talk about the recent outcome of result of 18th Lok Sabha election of India, in which he talk about that the federalism is on the line to become more strong, and the more consensus and harmonious relation will bring between the center and state. He also talk about the concept of financial resource sharing and the state are real identities. We talk about the difference between center and state, like resource management, water management, and the finance management. We talk about the tax collection and the distribution, the role of finance commissions in this center state relation. Talking about the next editorial is remolding the global plastic treaty. We talk about as a discussion on shall we move to the legally binding plastic treaty? What is the role of informal who pick plastic informally from the garbage? And he like both of them talk about the stats that has very important, like the outlook. According to the OECD global plastic outlook, global production of plastic waste was 340 million ton in 2019, more than the double since it was in 2000, and it is set to triple in 2060. Only 9% of waste recycled and 50% sent to the landfills. And according to the United Nations Environment Program, of 9% recycled and 85 was done by informal recycling. Friend, these are the case of concern for us, and plastic is one of the biggest challenge for the humankind, and slowly and gradually and invisibly infiltrating in the environment, and that make our environment polluted, and the result are in the form of having dangerous disease and less immune system. Both of two have talked about the way forward, in which the United Nations meeting regarding the legally binding policies of plastic, and the intergovernmental cooperations, or the involvement of India, and the involvement of their informal pickers of plastic from the garbage. This news is about the change and continuity. Mexico's first woman president must crack down on organized crime. Recently, the Mexico, a country of North America, witnessed a change and in which the Mexico's first woman president come onto the chair and rule the country. This is a political news, not much, very much constructive. Why the BJP underperform in the UP? This is the news that decoding the BJP sweep in the Odisha, a reality check in Maharashtra, and the smart politics of Trinamool. Sheikh Hasina to be first of foreign leaders to arrive for Modi's oath-taking event, and in recent time we see the Bangladesh is not only emerging as an important neighbor of India but as an ally of India to support in every forum nationally, internationally and collaboration. Although there are some border differences with Bangladesh that are needed to be resolved urgently, but the cooperation that is given by the Sheikh Hasina in the recent time is I'm happy to see this kind of cooperation, and that kind of cooperation in the region lead to the prosperity of the whole South Asia. This news is about babies, bargains, and bureaucracy. Recently, a racket has been busted by the police of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, who are running a network that facilitates illegal child adoptions. Was recently uncovered in Telangana and neighboring state Andhra Pradesh, leaving the adoption families shattered, with thousands fervently waiting for a chance to embrace parenthood. A dearth of children available for legal adoptions has led many to resort to illegal means. While police scramble to untangle the network complexities with an intensive probe and several arrests, the fate of those already ensnared by baby business hang in the balance with Lovepreet Kaur. This is the thing that you will rightly understand. One day I got a call from a staffer at Gandhi Hospital who introduced himself as a broker. He quoted 3 lakh for a baby girl and 6 lakh for a boy. My wife was depressed after a miscarriage, and so we went ahead with the adoption. The investigation agencies are doing work, and this topic is very serious, that should we decrease the norm of adoption, legal adoptions, and how we can do so to give the every to keeping the interests and the future of children in mind. What could be the way forward? It's a question of contemplation. This question is about the environment. Fiscal spotlight banks of Periyar. A river of Kerala, Periyar, is witnessing pollution. That fish floating in a cage farm at Sahapukoduvu near Charanlore in Kochi on May 21. Cage farmers were getting ready to harvest premium varieties such as Pearl Sport so as to be earn a profit during the traveling ban when the fish died. The latest fiscal reported in Periyar on May 21 and May 22 has brought to light uncontrolled pollution of river and the misery it heaps on fish farmers who depend on this lifeline for their substances. The government authority need to taken care of, and this has the live dependency of farmers. If that polluted, how the farmer will survive? RBI raising GDP view augurs well, stand chart at Dharula. However, the slight revision in the GDP growth forecast to 7.2 is still lower than BOB forecast of 7.3 to 7.44 financial year 2025, said the bank chief economist Madan Sabnavis. Rate cut likely in October. Digital payment intelligence platform soon to curb fraud. ASEAN Free Trade Government seek industries input up to demand pitch. With the ASEAN, we have trade deficit of around, we export to the ASEAN 4.1 billion, and we import to the from the ASEAN is 79.6 billion dollars. There is no such thing as president of Taiwan region, Chinese embassy. Taiwan is an inalienable part of Chinese territory. The government in Beijing is the sole legal representing the whole of China, says the embassy in Delhi days after the self-ruled island leader congratulated Prime Minister Modi. UN chief condemned the Myanmar military raid. Biden apologized to the Zelensky for holding up military aid. Putin, Russia's economy is growing even after the sanctions, say Putin. It is an achievement for Russia that despite being involved in the war and having the sanctions from the economy, from the Western economies to their economy, and from the UN itself, there is a like the iron of Putin's policy that they have maintained the Russian's economy. South Africa positions to discuss ANC unity plan to form the government. As war entered ninth month, Israel pound Gaza refugee camp. South Korean migrant worker schemes triggered allegation of modern slavery as the treatment they receive in this scheme, that they will receive an amount in working on land in the farmer in South Korea, but on working completions they didn't get their amount, even though their passport was seized and their mobility were confined. That is the sign of the modern slavery, and the activists are raising this issue with the relevant authorities, and the workers are from Nepal, Philippines, and some of Asian countries. Beijing's actions against Philippine vessels threaten the global security, says Sweden. Two British judges resigned from Hong Kong court.